Welcome back to the Jankyard for another deck tech. This one is based on a request actually from one of our Patreons. I call this deck a riff on Cyclones. It's a riff also because it's focused around a Cyclone card, but it's also the term is kind of makes a reference to Cyclonic Rift, which of course is not in standard. This is a standard deck. This is standard Jeskai cycling, but it's built around a card that very janky. Love seeing it in Ikoria, but one that does not get much use in most cycle decks, and that is Unpredictable Cyclone. So we got a full complement of them, 4 of them, 3 in double red for an enchantment. If a cycling ability of another non-land card would cause you to draw a card, instead exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a card that shares a card type with the cycled card. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost, then put the exiled cards that weren't cast this way on the bottom of your library in a random order. It's a really cool card. So you're not going to be doing a lot of drawing once you get this out, because it doesn't let you cycle anymore. But it does really just build up the board. So this deck is all about cycling. It's just full of cyclers. And I chose 2 types. Predominantly, there's creatures, so it'll find a creature when you cycle when you have this out. But the other option is enchantments. There are, in fact, 10 enchantments. Everything else is, let's just go up here and take a quick look. Yeah, 28 creatures, 10 enchantments. So it can go either way in what it finds. So let's talk about it. We have 4 Flourishing Fox. This thing's great. Whenever you cycle, put a +1/+1 counter on it. That's pretty good. Durant Healer and Valiant Rescuer. We also have the Durant Stinger. Splendor Mare, which will put a lifelink counter on a creature you already have out. Avian Oddity will put the flying counter on when you have out. I only put 2 of each of those because the cycling is a little more prohibitive in terms of cost, but still they're fun to cycle and fun to find once you have the Cyclone out. We also have Imposing Vantasaur 3/6 with Vigilance. That's nice, and a couple Lava Serpents that have haste. We also have 1 Sanctuary Smasher because I like a 6/4 first striker. I also like the fact that if you cycle it, granted it's expensive, 2 and a red to cycle, but you can put a first strike counter on another creature. And then we've got 3 Udaro. This is what you really want to find. This is the one with cycling for 1 and a red, and when you cycle it, you shuffle it into your library from your graveyard. If you cycled a card named Udaro 4 more times this game, you put it on the battlefield from your graveyard instead. But also, if you say you've got the Cyclone out, you cycle Durant Healer, first creature you find is this. Okay, plunk. There we go. 8/8. And then the enchantments we have are Anomaly Seas. Oh, I love this card. Whenever you draw a card, put a Foreshadow counter on it. Remove 8 Foreshadow counters from it. Make an 8/8 blue Kraken. Cycles for 2. Fantastic card. And then the Cyclone itself. And then the other one is Shark Typhoon. I mean, slap down a Shark Typhoon and then play another one like an Anomaly Sea or an Unpredictable Cyclone. I mean, if those are the only things that are going to trigger Typhoon. I'm more inclined to cycle Typhoon to make sharks. But, if you find it with Unpredictable Cyclone, that works too. Then we've got 2 plains, 2 islands, 2 mountains, 3 Hollow Fountains, 3 Steam Vents, 3 Sacred Foundries, 4 of the Jeskai Triome, and 3 Fable Passages. And this is a best of 1 deck. There is no sideboard. That's Riff on Cyclones. Give it a try. I think it could be a fun one. It's definitely taking a somewhat popular archetype and then grabbing a really janky card and trying something different with it. So give it a try.